more or less on time. That's the formal schedule part of the evening. There are other people who may want to say some things, and this is an opportunity for you to share something that you might want to share. I'm going to ask whoever wants it to come up and keep it to about a couple minutes, because in about 20 minutes, if people speak that long, so invite Moshe Uta to come up, and he's dedicating Masechet Makot. He's going to see him for Hanan, and he'll give over this short siyum, and we can say the Kaddish after the siyum at around 9:30 or so. So, anyone wants to?
I haven't really said anything even a year ago or during the Shloshim, or even when we had our Kiddush for Hanan yesterday. It's hard. I have a hard time even going through the block on Grand. The only time I went, I think it was a rummage sale, and they were getting rid of stuff before Jody left, and I went. It was something else. His presence is still here in Berkeley, and I would say amongst all the people here, probably know him the longest. My earliest memory of Hanan and Jody was at the Jack Tar Hotel, which was, I guess they changed it to the Cathedral Arms Hotel. There was a synagogue run by Henry Falkenberg. And I remember I was living in North Beach, working, selling my hats, and I used to go to shul every morning, every Shabbos, over Russian Hill, and it was a wonderful walk to San Francisco. The view was great, and getting to shul was wonderful. But there's where I met Jody and Hanan, and they were talking about getting married. So I wished them a mazel tov, and I vaguely remember Hanan at Chabad House, because I used to go when it was a time in my life if there was a bris or a bar mitzvah or something in Berkeley. I didn't have a lot of money, and it was a time to eat, so I'd be over here. I had a fellow friend, Moshe Albez, somebody from San Francisco. We used to, if there was a bris or a bar mitzvah or a wedding in the city, he would tell me. So we had it. So I always got a meal here and there. It was okay. It was really nice. So we had this communication going. Anyhow, I remember Edelman in being in Berkeley, and I used to get the two of them mixed up sometimes, especially when Hanan grew a beard. Edelman would be dancing on the tables. I don't think Hanan did that, but when there was something going on, there was always a simcha or something. I remember Hanan working at Beth Abraham as an accountant. It was funny she mentioned an accountant and coming up the ranks from there. And I remember his teacher, Manny DeMoyle, who Hanan decided that he was going to be a moil. He had a little family. I was working at one point at the Kosher Express in the late 80s with Bino, and Hanan used to go with Bino to do shachadim. They needed somebody else as kind of a witness and a helper and stuff. So I remember Hanan's David being born, and the bris was at the old Chabad house, the old Chabad house on Piedmont Avenue. I was a little bit miffed with my boss because I really wanted to go to the bris, but somebody had to watch the store, and I was at the store. But the next bris, which was Daniel's, which was at a little hotel on Shattuck, and I went to that. I probably have some pictures away somewhere. There's a book floating around with pictures of Hanan and some of the community when a lot of us had black beards, actually, at that point. I don't remember too many without beards, but you're welcome to look through it. And I did some of the pictures here. The only thing I wanted to think about with Hanan, I'm kind of asking a forgiveness of Jody and Hanan. One night, it was Pesach. They invited me over for dinner. It was the second night of Pesach. Very machma family. Nothing got cooked till the Yontif was over. And the next day, you know, the second night of Pesach, it's about 11 o'clock at night. And Jody says, time to start cooking for the meal. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I'll never eat. This is like, I'm just going to cook. And it's like 11 o'clock. The Seder, I know we're going to go till 4 in the morning. So I said, excuse me, but I'm going home. And I went home. I put stuff together. I made my Seder. I was asleep by midnight, so I was happy with that. But I forgive him. I kind of ran out on him. Nice to hear some of the names of Levi Yitzhak Miller, who was close to Hanan and close to Gedaliah for a while, and a few other people in Israel that are still in there, you know. Other than that, I mean, I've been to a number of brises as a witness or as a place to eat sometimes with Hanan. One of them just comes in mind. It was a local bris. I'm not going to say whose it was, and people who were there probably know anyhow. But it's like we had a new rabbi in the community. I think he was here for a week or two. Welcome to Berkeley. It's a little mishiga, but they didn't know what they were getting into. And bris was going on in the main part of the house, and outside there was maybe a dozen American Indians doing the drumming. You know, there was a drumming Indian, and that was going on in the other room. Meanwhile, there's an Orthodox bris going on in the main theater. So it's like some of Hanan's stories, if I could remember some of them that he used to tell me about all of his different brises and the kind of things that would happen were hilarious. And I kept bugging him, saying, write these down, you know, these are funny, you can do a whole book on it, you know, the book might sell, you might have to give up the job. So anyhow, that's my little spiel.
Okay. Spieler.